My name is Peter. I live on a permaculture food forest in southeast Ecuador called Fruit Haven Eco Village. Sometimes I live down the hill at the Fruit Haven 1 community house, but other times I'll sleep up here on my private homestead lot in this little tent here. I did start building a cabin, but recently I've been too busy trying to finish other people's houses, haven't had a chance to finish mine. But it'll happen soon enough. I planted these mulberries from small cuttings in a pot just a few months ago. And they're already getting big fast and actually giving fruits. This one over here has some very small fruits. I've been getting like 1 or 2 ripe fruits per day. And they're just the normal black mulberry, but I do plan on grafting some white mulberry and Pakistani mulberry onto these soon. We made a nice big mulch pile around them with logs and flamingia. And there's another little cutting I planted here. Hopefully I'll have another bush soon. Down along the hill I got a whole bunch of other fruit trees. You can't really see it, but I have baby Mysore raspberry planted along this trellis and then pink passion fruit at the very end. Really, I found that the mangosteen does really well underneath the shade cloth. Planted that one maybe 1.5 years ago. This is my contour line row of vetiver grass and ice cream bean and flamingia for lots of chop and drop fertilizer. Another mangosteen, row of complementary bananas. I do plan on starting a vegetable garden soon and growing some other stuff, but just haven't got there yet. The fruit trees are my first priority because some of them take many years to fruit. Got this shade-loving achacha from Bolivia. Very delicious fruit, just planted it a few months ago. Really likes the shade. It's an understory tree, hence the shade cloth. I planted this cardamom a few months ago. The one I planted at the top of the hill died, but this one is doing really well. They take about 3 years to mature, so I've read on the internet, so cardamom is a superfood. You should check it out. It's great for seasoning a lot of different things. Hopefully in a few years I'll have an endless supply of cardamom seeds. Over on that hillside I've got some Bali salak, which is a good high altitude variety of salak, and then I've got Durio graveolens and Durio graveolens zibethinus hybrid. I'm at 850 meters elevation up the hill here at 3 degrees from the equator, so that stuff should do pretty well here. All across this hillside, which you can't really see because the plants are small, but you can see a bit of shade cloth there. I've got like 6 Dubai trees, and I've got maybe 3 or 4 got purple matoa and green matoa. On this hillside, which you can't really see because the trees are so small, but I've got a Mangifera odorata in there. I've got a jatoba, or stinking toe, from Brazil, and I've got a rambutan from Borneo. You can see the matoa is really just trying to get out of that shade cloth. They were doing fine. They were getting baked right after I planted them when they were really tiny young plants. They were just getting baked every single day in the hot sun, dry soil, and they just grew faster and faster. They seem to be really hardy. The rambutan seems to be having a much harder time than other rambutans I've started, but it's still alive. And we're supposed to be in the middle of the rainy season right now, but I feel like I might actually have to start turning the sprinkler on again soon. There I've got some of the wood I'm going to use to build the cabin, and there's just a lot of stuff planted around this hillside. I don't know if you remember. I mean, obviously there's bananas, there's iboga, there's ackee, there's Rollinia, there is Regia boticaba and a couple other random things. This little monster gets me up the hill and back even in the pouring rain. It's pretty great. This is the variety of pitahaya, which is red inside, and the red flesh dragon fruit. Very delicious. I use this burlap sack to kind of capture nutrients because the air-feeding roots like to feed off of that. Got some spare roof sheets on the ground to help deflect some sunlight and keep it dry and keep the weeds down. It is a cactus after all. Some of you may have already seen the plants in this row in a previous video, but you can see the progress here. The tamarind is doing really well. The Buddha belly sugarcane is doing great. Got another Rollinia. Miscellaneous sugarcane. My grafted avocado died, so I replaced it with a Redlands white sapote. Another Redlands white sapote. I'm hoping I really like that fruit because I planted a bunch of them. I've got an army of yucca plants protecting my little grafted carambolas from the wind. In case you're wondering, I have grafted kari and grafted bell. Here we did some air layers on this Ruby Supreme 1030 guava, So we're hoping this soil-filled ball of aluminum foil and plastic is going to fill with roots coming off the branch. Then we'll cut it right here and we'll have ourselves a new plant to put in the ground. Now those of you who haven't heard of the Ruby Supreme 1030 guava, please don't confuse it with the Ruby Supreme 618. This is better. It has a natural worm-resistant sap that forms in the skin of the fruit. I had my first one the other day. It was unripe, but it split open on the tree, and I tried it, and even the unripe flesh was great. Way better than the local guava that always gets filled with worms. So yeah, and I picked another one today. It's already over there waiting to be eaten. We're going to see how it is. It's a bit riper. Really, this is a great guava variety if you suffer from lots of worms entering your guavas. I haven't decided what to fill this hillside with, but I'm thinking mulberry and citrus. I've got a nice mix of like pushing subtropical stuff and totally tropical stuff like Dubai and durian, so it'll be interesting to see how this fruit forest turns out in some years. I'm already getting fruit from it, as you can see. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Check out fruithavenecovillage.com or amazonfruitfestival.com. Great opportunity to come on down here and check out some land we have for sale. Maybe start your own homestead. The sunset looks really great over the mountain here, so I might stay a bit to watch it and then head back down.